Hello there. The engineering team is deep in the design and validation phase and has made a lot of progress when it comes to the interior, but you don't need to hear me talk about it all day. Let's ask them. Okay, hi Graham.
Hey.
Hi Forrest.
Hello.
You're going to update us on H-point and interior fitting of everything?
Absolutely. We've been working on here is a lot of the interior design and specifically the H-point. So what we've got is a model of the standard human in there, both the 99% and 95% and smaller. And what we're trying to figure out is like where eyeballs are going to land, where the head is going to land, where the hip point is going to land, and how that relates to all the components in your vehicle. When we talk about interior, that's the first step that we're working on. And then that defines all these things. You can see there's like little cross sections here of like the B pillar and the top face, because all of these things have to seal. The door has to seal water and sound and air, and it has to be the right distance away from you so that you can see around stuff.
Cool. So all of these little details have to be finalized before you can decide like where the screen is, how big the screen is.
Exactly.
And how's it been, Graham?
It's been a ride. It's been a lot of fun.
Good.
I'm really excited with all the progress we've done. This is really going to be a super unique vehicle. We have such a short hood.
Right.
Our downward vision angle, which you could attribute to how good you can see people, obstacles, curbs in front of you, is extremely good. And in fact, I don't think there's a good comparison for how strong our downward vision angle is.
Maybe a K truck.
And like maybe an example of one of the things that we found out doing this, so we work back and forth with designers. Designers are making mock-ups of everything we do up at Fuse Project. When you sit in the buck, we noticed that your elbow wasn't really hitting the rest right. And so we realized that we actually could move the seats out 3/4 of an inch, gave us more room in the middle, and got your elbow on the right.
Nice.
So those little things are what we're working through both between engineering and design.
So it has to fit the Stanley Cup is what you're saying. That's important.
It must.
It's going to be a bigger center console than you thought then.
Yeah, so we'll get a bigger center console.
Oh, sweet.
Get a more comfortable armrest. We have actually a better view to the mirror moving over. That one solved a lot of issues. We were worried that it would create problems then with the steering column. Sego then was working on the steering. We were able to move everything just right and not make any compromises. So
perfect.
That one worked out really well. Several other things crop up, like, can you see the stoplights at the right angle and all these things. So those are all things that we continue to work through. And then there's the fact of like, can you actually make it? So we make all these forms, and then we're working with our manufacturer Aria,
Gotcha.
To make sure that this is going to be something they can make.
Right. So measure twice, cut once. That's the smarter way to do it. All right. Thanks for the update, guys. The first parts for our Aria prototypes have actually started arriving recently, which is very exciting. It's making the vehicle feel that much more real. But of course, we're going to need a good place to assemble the chassis, suspension, the battery pack, and everything. So let's ask David how exactly it's going to work. Okay, so David, right?
Yes.
All right. This kind of looks like an amazing cyberpunk Lego set, but I'm guessing that's not what it is.
No, this is actually our new chassis table.
Oh.
So I just got finished setting this up, yesterday. Somewhat precision, it's flat. We have these riser blocks here. The entire chassis and kind of the unibody structure will get assembled on this. This allows us to keep everything square, repeatable, and get, the first couple chassis out from this office.
Wow. How much did all this weigh?
The table without the blocks is 1,600 pounds.
Oh, so you could fit it all in the TELO then.
You certainly could.
And why are these a little higher?
Yeah, these are for the rear. The rear of the vehicle's here, the front is there, kind of our forward rails sit on that big beam on the front. On here, these are raised for kind of the beams that run along the underside of the bed. This is our nice little stair at level. I use that a lot these past couple days because this table needs this many feet to keep everything level. When you're working in like this scale of precision, everything's floppy, even if it's made of steel.
Wow. Excited to see it loaded up.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that in the next couple weeks, and those chassis are off to get fully built up.
Awesome. The battery pack is actually going to be assembled in the room right behind me and then brought out, and even a crane is going to be exactly where I am right now to move the rest of the vehicle onto the battery pack, and it will literally drive right out our garage door here. Over the next couple of months, there's going to be hundreds of pounds worth of components and parts coming in to bring these prototypes together and just make the TELO truck that much more believable, and they'll be the kinds of the vehicles with full-size battery packs that we can can drive around, accelerate in, and give you guys a chance to check out the practicality within our amazing dimensions. We appreciate you all for your patience. We know there's a lot that goes into developing a vehicle, and sometimes it can get a bit technical, but everything is being designed with care and attention to make sure that your vehicle can be delivered as soon as possible and deliver the absolute best case scenario for range, utility, and practicality. Thank you all for watching, and I hope we get to say TELO again soon.